Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting. Okay, hello, welcome. This is an exciting day. We are doing stuff towards acting. This is an interesting thing in the description box that I think is worth taking a look at and deciding for yourself how you can start to earn money actually making videos on the internet. And you can also have conversations with me, and I can help you, as well as the course. And this course is exactly kind of cool. So absolutely check that out. If I can figure out how to be able to get it off the screen, that would be even better for now. But definitely check this out in the description box. So we are doing acting, and it always baffles me. It baffles me because I'll have people that have done acting for quite a long time, and they'll be asking me the question of how do you rehearse acting yourself? And today we're going to go through something that is incredible. It is called the Activations Journal. The Activations Journal is what every single actor needs. Anybody who's serious about doing emotional preparations, putting emotion into their work, and remembering the actual step of being able to activate their own emotions. And sometimes it takes quite a lot of work to find and figure out and get that active component. So you actually break open that active part in you, and then this thing starts to pour out of you. This emotion starts to pour out of you with your own talent. You're working so that you access and you bring up your own talent, which is absolutely key. Now, the way to work with these constructs in order to be able to construct your own talent is an incredible tool to work with called relaxation. Now, relaxation is actually how you find your own spontaneity within your own talent. You actually have to sort of relax in to that active emotion. And we're going to go through some examples of this little by little. We're gonna really go through and understand how to be able to use relaxation to get spontaneity into our acting, and use relaxation to get spontaneity into our improvisations. And that is by being able to achieve an activated emotion. Now, if you go and do all the work of emotional preparation in your acting, and you go ahead and you do all of this incredible work, and you've got this work done, and you're matching, you know exactly the things that you could possibly work on to be able to pull up or dredge up the emotion that you need to be able to match the emotion of the actual script, of the actual material. Well, then you have done something that a lot of actors sometimes don't do. Some people think that they can just go ahead and just start doing the work without the being side of acting. And being takes the ability to be able to activate. So you want to be able to be a lit fuse in that emotional range of acting to be able to then achieve the ability to do your acting, because you want to be able to activate that range of emotion so that it activates and interacts with the scene. And this is part of the ability to learn the craft of acting. We're not talking about something to try and predetermine the outcome of the scene. We're talking about how to be able to activate something that can become an active interaction within acting, which is absolutely key. So I'm going to go through a little bit today and look at this and discuss this, because this is absolutely important. But I want to take a quick break, have a quick cup of coffee, and then well, I can probably do coffee now, but let's just look at this one thing really quick. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting. Okay, so we are on top of things today, and we are working with things, and we are working with the topic of relaxation. Now, why is this so key? Why is this so important? Because when you want to be able to work with, some people say that you work with extreme emotions, right? Or you work with extremely deep emotions. And you work so that you've got this rich inner life in your acting. And you work so that you're able to achieve this by really going into yourself, activating this either with an imaginary circumstance that you can literally imagine yourself being in, that can put yourself in that emotional range. Or you go into a real life recollection and you remember a time where you felt that emotion. And then you reactivate that thing. And once you reactivate that thing, the thing that works and makes the whole thing kind of palatable for both the audience and the actor is this thing called relaxation. So relaxation, you want to be able to find your ability to do a relaxation into the moment. So you relax yourself you activate the emotion, and then you relax. Now, I have this video that's on emotional meditation technique. It is purely the ability for you to not use an emotional preparation, but it is a part of emotional preparation to find depth, or you could use it as one. But you work to be able to invite an activated experience in, then you release that experience, and you can feel that kind of well up inside of you. And you're filling yourself up with that emotional range over and over and over and over again. So you can really expand whatever that emotional range is. And then you have that ability. So then when you're working with interaction and acting, all of a sudden somebody will say something to you and you'll just resonate right from your torso, right from the gut. You'll just be resonating this feedback back to people so that you can actually be able to work and be able to have a different varied response, a very different emotional response to the work, so that you're capable of being able to catch the activation and then be able to have this entirely unique, emotionally colored experience. Now, why is this important? Because when you're working with scenes and you want to be able to get a scene work done, and you want to be able to achieve doing scenes, you want to not have all of your scenes look the same. Now, this is absolutely, with all the back financing of Hollywood and such that goes on, there's so much reasons why certain things get made. It's very interesting. Let me put it that way. And I think it's better if people don't challenge me on that, because I think that the reality is that there's a lot of stuff having to do with the ability of why projects get made. And it's terribly upsetting sometimes when you see these massive blockbuster projects, and you've got an actor that doesn't have any emotional range at all. They have no artistic value. If they couldn't even find their own spigot of emotion. That's how their every single scene is just them doing the lines in the scene. Now, that's not the way to be able to work with acting. You want to be able to work with acting so that the differences of your emotional self can come out and the audience can have that emotional journey. Now, if you look at contrasting films where you have people that study acting technique, they've got the ability to have that emotional range. Now, the key in how they're able to find that is with the concept of relaxation. They're able to relax into that element within themselves to be able to activate that emotion. That emotion activates within them. something happens, something sparks off, and then that spark of emotion gets into the interaction through the actor receiving. The actor receives, and then all of a sudden they continue to be able to have a different emotional experience than what it was otherwise. And this is absolutely, absolutely important, because this is how you're able to have people compliment you and say that you actually have talent, and it actually be talent, which is awesome. This is exactly what you want to be able to achieve. So look, finding moments after you relax, you relax into the stimulus of the activation, and then you've got the ability to be able to work, and you find these pockets of emotion within yourself. And sometimes, when you're workshopping these types of emotions, you might be working on a emotion of I don't know, let's just pick one, dissatisfied, right? Dissatisfied. Now, this is my emotions list. There's an emotions list and there's an independent activities list. Both that are interesting, very, very, very good for actors to be able to put those two together, because you can actually build your emotional preparations like we're kind of doing now. So we're looking at dissatisfied, right? Or dissatisfaction. And you've got the actor working to be able to have that emotion that they need to have active within themselves, because they want to be able to have this exchange happen in the scene with the undercurrent of emotion of being dissatisfied. So the dissatisfaction is this ability to be dissatisfied because the actor's done what they've done with their emotional preparation in the back of the theater. They've been able to find their dissatisfied elements. Now, they'll work to be able to find something that dissatisfies them in life, a real life situation, or an imaginary condition that they can really dive into, spend some time putting themselves in an emotional daydream. And that emotional daydream, hold on a second, is this element where you really wake up that internal element inside yourself. So you've got this thing that's awake. You've awakened your dissatisfaction. You've awakened this thing where you've got this thing dissatisfied. And you'll find that a lot of times you'll find these incredible, incredible pockets within yourself. Like you will start to work on the topic of dissatisfaction, and all of a sudden you'll start to make a list to yourself. And this is an excellent way to be able to do emotional preparations. You make a list of all the different times that you've been dissatisfied. See if you can make between 8 and 10 things on that list. And you go down that list and you work with that list to be able to find this emotional element. And this emotional element, the point is to be able to activate it. Now, you test your activated emotions by relaxing into them. So you relax into them. Now, what happens is when you relax into that emotion, when you relax into that activated element inside yourself, what will actually happen is you will be in a situation where you will sometimes have a spigot of that emotion kind of sputter out. It will be like this thing is all of a sudden you'll have this dissatisfied. It will just sputter, and then you'll find that there'll be a deeper well underneath it. Now, that is one of the ones that you want to circle with your emotional preparations. You want to be able to find that ability within yourself to be able to keep finding that access within yourself. And you want to be able to lengthen it over and over and over so that you've got more and more depth. And that is absolutely what you're looking for, because then when you're working to be able to do your acting scene, you've got that active element inside yourself. You got this thing that's alive inside of you. And then all of a sudden, you take that living thing that's inside of you, that dissatisfied emotion that you've already stirred up inside yourself. And then you start to work with the scene and you start receiving your acting partner. And then both of those things mesh. And it's even hard to be able to tell, what's your activated emotion? What's your acting partner's stimulus? then that's great, because now all of a sudden you've got this life. You've got this life, and you've got this exchange, and you've got this incredible stuff to be able to help you achieve what it is that the writer has actually intended of dissatisfaction in that scene. So this is how important relaxation is. Relaxation is this element that is the ability to have control as an actor. Relaxation is the ability to be able to amplify your talent. Relaxation is the ability to do every kind of thing you could imagine. You need to be able to have the ability to relax. And if you're finding stuff for I don't know, soap operas, do you want to use relaxation? Believe me. If you want to find something that has depth of anger, you want to use relaxation, because you want to have that active emotion. You want to have whatever active emotion in the interaction of the acting. You want to have that. And that is the test of the absolute plethora of the stage, is you want to be able to find an activated emotion and have it interacting in you and with your partner. So if you relax into a feeling and it's still there, that relaxation into that feeling will become an emotion. It will go deeper. This is how you ride your own elevator down into your emotional depths. Now, when you ride your own elevator into your own emotional depths, you want to be able to remember that acting talent is not only going and using the ability to be able to find the emotion and activate it. It is also the ability to come out of that emotion after you're acting. And that is why I absolutely have included all sorts of things, and it's in my book, where we're talking about relaxation. We're talking about the ability to be able to use relaxation to be able to both enter activated emotion, to activate emotional preparations, and also to be able to release both emotional preparations and the experiences after your emotion. Now, I haven't checked anything here. I'll check in a little bit. I'm on a little bit of a roll, so let me keep going. So, but if you have any comments, make comments either now, live, or in later, and we'll get back to them and I'll get back to them and we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Okay, so the ability to know that relaxation is absolutely key in your ability to find your spontaneity is what only usually experienced actors know. So it's a very, very, very big thing to be able to know. Now, activations, just give me a second. Here, there's another note here I remember. Actors feel the spontaneity. So many times actors feel the spontaneity of a spastic action. And they think that their only job is to find that spastic action to impress or show themselves off. Now, this is my own writing, so it's fine. This is my work. But the real spontaneity comes off the ping pong of interaction. The ping pong of interaction. The give and the take. So your ability to test yourself as an actor is the ability, if you're doing exercises alone, doing independent activities alone, writing exercises alone, apology letters alone, eulogy exercises alone, you want to be able to activate the emotion and then see if the emotion comes back and visits you when you're actually doing the work of acting in your independent activity. You don't need an acting partner to practice acting, but you do need to practice activating your emotions. That is absolutely something that you just can't avoid. You've got to be able to practice the ability to activate your own talent, activating your emotions, which is awesome, which is exactly what acting actually is and what it needs to be. It's incredibly fun to be able to experience even the same lines, even the same dialogue with different emotions. It's important that you do that. Okay, so activations, give yourself, okay, so now, when you're working on emotional preparations, there's this component of activation. Sometimes you just keep building things up in yourself. You go and get an activation, you relax into it, all of a sudden it fills you up. Okay, and you go get another activation. it fills you up. You go and get an activation in the same emotional ballpark, right? And let's say you are filling yourself up with eagerness. Well, let's just pick eagerness, right? On the emotions list, eagerness. And you've got yourself feeling more and more eager, and more eager. And then the director says, go start the scene. Well, maybe the director is saying, go start the scene because they know that you've got enough eagerness built up. And if so, trust it, work with it and see how much eagerness comes out in your interaction. But sometimes you need to be able to really put yourself in a place where you get the last straw of your activation. Now, you get the last straw of your activation. It means that you've brimmed yourself up with complete. In this case, we're looking at eagerness. You fill yourself up with eagerness. You fill yourself up with eagerness. You're brimming with eagerness. This whole thing is just absolutely astonishing to you. How eager you are. You got this incredible motivation, this eagerness. And this is exactly what the writer is wanting for the scene, or this is exactly what you've given yourself to be able to work with in your acting improvisations. So your ability to do this is key. It is absolutely key. So you fill this thing up. You've got this eagerness. You've got this excitement going on inside yourself. And then you work to be able to see if you can give yourself that last thing, the last activation in your emotional preparation world, in your emotional preparation bubble. That's another good video, emotional preparation bubble. And you give yourself the last straw, the straw that you just absolutely breaks open all your eagerness. All of a sudden, it could be that you give yourself a last motivation. That's why I say add motivations to your acting work. I'm saying this because I've seen over 30,000 acting exercises, well over 30,000 acting exercises. I've seen a lot of things, and believe me, it's important because when you give yourself that last ingredient, all of a sudden, everything that you've worked on in real time in your emotional preparation can come out into the interaction and receive your partner. And then all of a sudden, everything you've worked on becomes part of their work and your work. You've lifted yourself off the stage emotionally, and all of a sudden you're on this emotional roller coaster. You're on this emotional ride of eagerness within the scene. And your eagerness just pours out, and it's fantastic. Now, this is the way you want to be able to be aware of that you can actually get this thing called the last straw. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes the last straw is something that's very interesting because it will absolutely reveal yourself in your work. And that is exactly what you want in your acting. You want to be able to have yourself in a place where you are emotionally open and active and working, and an ability that you can actually have this dialogue actually happen. So you've got this incredible experience. And then when you're working on a play and you're working on a scene, you work with this ability. Then you go back into the back of the theater and you make sure you've got your emotional preparation set up for your next big scene. And you activate a different emotion. And then all of a sudden, for the audience, it looks like this entire story is unfolding. And you've gone through this entire range of emotion. And the audience's imagination fills up everything that the playwright hasn't actually put into the work. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Believe me. Okay? So look, here's the thing. Work so that you keep piling up your emotional activations, and don't be afraid of it. But make sure that if you're going to do this type of work and you're going to do this emotional preparation this deeply, that you're going to release your emotional preparations after you're acting. Okay. And sometimes some people will hold back the most active emotional stimulations of their work, for their emotional range last just before they enter the stage. And that is another tip. That is a great thing to know, because sometimes that will help the acting technique. Okay, so the next thing here I wanted to go through is this concept of activation journals. Now, activation journals is this incredible ability to be able to build up a booklet of your own emotional activations. So go to my website, work on that. I might have a link in the description. If not, find it. look in the search and find emotional activations journal. So find the emotional activations journal material and work that ability to be able to find what is the ability for you to find your emotions. Now, you work with your emotions, just like in my emotional preparations book. It is another ingredient that's inside of it, where it's working so that there is an ability for you to find real experiences that you can identify using that emotions list, the emotions that you've seen other people experience. You've got the other people experiencing those emotions, and you record them. And there's something about that memory that might help trigger something. And then you put yourself into imaginary conditions where you actually know that if you're in that imaginary condition, that you would actually be in a situation where that emotion would activate in you. So you work with that ability to be able to concentrate that deeply. And then when you come out of that imagination, you can know that you have this emotion filling yourself up. Your torso, your whole body starts to feel a visceral sensation of how to be able to have that specific, that very, very, very specific emotion. So listen, this is a lot of fun. I'm working very hard on a lot of things. And I will continue to do so. And please let me know exactly how it is that you want to be able to learn. And I am still working to be able to organize this stuff in a way that can get a lot of people in, but I've been kind of very quiet about this whole thing. I've been very, very, very shy about everything having to do with all of this stuff because I'm a very introverted person in a way, but in a lot of ways maybe not. But I really enjoy acting, and I really think that I'm building something here that's going to work, and it's going to work even to watch the recordings of these videos, because it will give you the ability to find your own roadmap to your own access of your own emotions for your acting, and that is absolutely important. And it is incredibly, incredibly incredible. So let me read a couple quotes here. Truth is the reality of an activated moment. See? It's great. Now, look, when you're working with truth as an actor, see, I mean, it gives you such an advantage because the stage and acting will actually reveal who you are, and all of your emotions are activated in real time as the experience of the scene actually unfolds. So when you're in a situation like this, just give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on a minute. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting. Okay, welcome back. All right, let's work. So basically, we're going to wrap this thing up, but basically get that emotions list, work at that independent activities list. And beside the independent activities, there is a store that is actually full of independent activities. Now it takes, I think 7 to 15 days to get the products, but it's worth it. It supports everything I'm doing, and I've kept the prices low. So it's definitely worth it. You can have glasses that can actually help you read scripts as an actor. They're called colored lenses. You're using colored therapy to be able to extend your reading session so your eyes don't get tired. If your eyes are getting tired when you're reading scripts, throw on a pair of colored glasses and you will be able to read a little longer. And some people use that trick, see if it works for you. And there's free dyslexia fonts in the store, acting store, and in the drama acting store. And work with me and see what you can do. So the thing about this is There is a quote here. Hold on. All right. The by slightly relaxing into the spontaneous moment for a split second can leap the actor forward into the scene. Now, if that's not an important quote of mine, I don't know what is. That is incredibly important, that you learn the ability to relax into the moment. So then you springboard from the act of a moment. You actually realize the moment in yourself because you've taken the moment to relax. See, relaxation is the ability to receive. You are relaxing so you can fully receive the impulse. And then you experience the impulse of the impact of the other actor. And then you have a reply that comes out of you like a springboard. Because what happens is that the element of, just like the quote says, this is a quote from my article, Spontaneous Improvisation in Acting, or Improvisations in Acting. It's slightly relaxing into the spontaneous moment. For a split second can leap the actor forward into the scene. See, this is how you become, it's very interesting. I have last weekend saw a very familiar play to myself. And the situation is interesting. And the reality of it is that if you look at the second act, and I've said this in different ways for years, but if you look at the second act of the acting in a play, a lot of times the actors have this ambiance on stage that they don't have in the first act. Now, this is something that is an incredible acting observation to notice for yourself. Notice when you go in to watch a play and you look at the play and you see the difference between the first act and the second act. Now, if you're an actor, you want to be able to have that depth. The ambiance of the stage wants to be built out in the first act, in the first 5 minutes of the act. You want to be able to, as quickly as possible, with that playwright material, with the playwright material, you want to be able to absolutely activate yourselves so you've got that ambiance created. And this is the way to do it, through relaxation. You relax in, slightly relaxing into the spontaneous moment for a split second. And then you will start to learn that you can start the first act of the play with the same relaxation or a similar relaxation and ambiance, stage ambiance, that you have in the second act. And that is a big piece of advice, a very, very big piece of advice. And a lot of people think, oh, no, all you need is lines. No, you need to have a lot. Acting is a lot more than lines. Believe me, it's a lot more than lines. It's funny. People think that acting is just lines. I'll tell you something. Acting has the ability to have every kind of range of emotion come out of you in every single ability. And you're able to express yourself with such rhythm and sorrow and plight that you can literally find yourself all over again when you go on the stage, every single play, if you're a good actor. You could literally find and discover who you are in yourself as with that material every single time you work on the stage. That is exactly the plight of acting. That is exactly the way to be able to achieve it. And that is exactly what you want to be able to work with, to be able to do. Because what you will find is you will find yourself in your parts. You will find yourself in your acting parts. And that is incredibly to be able to do that in scene work. Okay, So, yeah, the entire thing of real acting allows the actor to awaken themselves within their scene work. Okay? It is the truth of yourself that is able to carry that emotion. And regardless of the props that are used in the play, which can sometimes be very real or not real, it is important that you're able to personalize those to yourself, regardless of the circumstance, or at least try to. And that's all I'll say about that. So, okay, listen, I've had a lot of fun today, and I'm going to check the things quick, and we'll do a little thing, and then I'll be out of here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. And please boop that like button, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting.